Alright, let's talk about AQST Therapeutics. I've seen some good articles recently regarding this stock, and I've seen that they've done debt refinancing up until 2025 to secure future development. And as you can see, stock price for this company has increased as of late, with them continuing to develop and becoming closer and closer to potential profitability in this case. They rent out the licenses to some drugs, so they indeed have some revenue. However, they are not yet profitable. And let's take a quick look at some of the financials in terms of revenue and profit. I'll use my favorite site for this. Use good old macro trends. They don't only have a stock screener, but we can also look at the data on specific stocks. So we can look back to 2018 up until today. And in terms of revenue, it's been quite uneven, but no major increases here as of late. We see quite flat in terms of year-on-year quarterly growth here as of late. And we can see it in real numbers as well. So revenue has not actually increased by that much. How come that some websites, when they say why you should invest in this company, are talking about, well, they are closer to profitability now and it's way safer? Well, let's take a look at earnings per share in that case, and we will see a different picture regarding this stock. Alright, so here you can see in terms of earnings per share that it used to be very, very negative here back in 2019, and then in terms of earnings per share, on a per share basis here, they've become more and more profitable with this gap here, getting closer and closer to profitability. And here last quarter, quite close, only a slight loss on 3 cents a share. However, this can be dangerous and misleading, especially in this case, and we don't get the full story just by looking at this number, because if we look at shares outstanding, we see that the total amount of shares has increased. There's been some dilution here for shareholders, with them printing more and more shares to finance continued development. So we can see that way back here in 2018, where we looked at stock price, 15 million shares. And now we have 65 million outstanding shares. Quite a large difference. So that loss is about the same going forward year on year, only it's divided by more and more shares, so that's why the earnings per share is becoming smaller. And I think it's very important to be aware of that when we're reading articles here, such as this one from Sachs talking about why you should invest in this stock. Indeed, this is a bet on future profitability. It's a very small company. There's potential to make a ton of money, but there's also quite a substantial probability to lose everything if development doesn't pan out. And I asked a question here in the community tab a few days ago regarding if you would take a bet with the bookie for a 10% chance to 100x that bet. And in truth, both answers are correct depending on how you view it. If you bet everything you own on that, well, then that's very stupid in terms of using money rules. But if it's a continued bet that you can take again and again and again, well, then you would be stupid not to do that bet. And in the case of the stock market, well, it's just like that, a continuation. You can continue to take that bet again and again and again and again. And in terms of these small cap stocks, well, there's a large chance that you're not going to get anything, but I think that the potential upside is very much greater than the risk in a lot of cases. And for this whole medical sector with the aging population, I indeed believe that there's potential to make a ton of money, but I don't make these investments myself, and that's because I don't know anything about the medical sector. I don't know how the system works in America. I did some research on it with the producer of the drug and the insurance agent and the pharmacy and how it gets to the end user via some claim. It's super complicated trying to understand where they can get margins, if they can get huge margins, what classification they can get from, you know, the insurance provider in America as a small company, only 130 employees. Is it more likely that they will get bought up by one of the larger ones? For sure. We just saw a huge investment from Pfizer or Moderna in this turbo cancer medical provider. So there's that potential upside as well. And this is a super risky scratch ticket to potential huge gains, but also if the development fails of the drug here, well, then this company will indeed go to zero. I hope you enjoyed me shedding some light on the numbers here in this case. I just read the news and I saw them talking about the earnings per share increased profitability, but as you can see, it's true, but also kind of not. So I hope that got you some enlightenment and just, you know, understanding the huge risk of this stock, this small cap stock. But those are the most fun ones. All right, I'm gonna end the video there. And as always, hope you guys make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.